Last week, our party found a potential powerful ally in the King of Beggars and Thieves in Shadizar. They also found out that the cult of the Staff Bearer has driven the acolytes from the Temple of the Spider God, taking it for their own. Thinking that the enemy of their enemy is their friend, they go to Dagoth Hill, where they are rumored to have taken refuge. There are dark rumors surrounding the hill, however. It is said some pre-human race haunts the ruins there, taking travelers in the dark of night to their forgotten hollows. Most are quick to dismiss such superstitious thoughts. In public, in truth, most stay away from these dark hills. It is easier to risk being thought of a coward or fool than to become prey for much darker things. And here we are at Crumbling presents Tales from the Tower, episode 4 of Conan the Thief. I'm James. I'm going to be your GM. Who may or may not be being heard right now. Who else do we have at the table here?
Brad, I play Kalimir.
I swear one of these days we're going to actually get an order down and figure out
My
who
name is
introduces
Emily. I'm playing Ulrika.
And we got a Frank and a
My name's Justin, and I'm playing Ramesh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were supposed to go in alphabetical order.
Ooh,
that's a good one for next time.
We mentioned that weeks ago, but
I thought that we were sticking to that, but I went out of alphabetical order. But sorry, Frank. You can introduce yourself.
yeah, he's
You're also
muted,
muted
so-
right now.
He's probably been talking for days.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
how's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
My name's Frank. I'll be playing Criven, assassin.
Crumbling presents
Super cool.
Tales from the Tower,
Super.
talking through mute.
Can't get your shit together. Episode 3.
Which episode 4? Anyway, so for anyone who has been keeping tabs, we are playing Modiphius's Conan: Adventures in Age Undreamed of. We did our carousing phase via Facebook this time around, so if you're interested in that, you can find it and other future gems in our Facebook group. Crumbling presents Tales from the Tower. If you look for that, you'll find the group. It has all the carousing in there, and there's some good information that happened in between sessions there, so you might want to check that out at your leisure.
Can I make a suggestion?
By all means.
Yeah. You were kind of in and out during the introduction. Can you copy and paste it into the Facebook comments so people can read it?
I most certainly can. Yeah, don't know what's happening there. Everything sounds okay now, though?
Yeah. He was in and out for other people too, right? It wasn't just me. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out a little bit.
Okay, I wonder his microphone positioning. But yeah, absolutely. I will throw that up in the comments as we speak. So, that said, while I'm doing that, who wants to, go over the story so far?
Well, as of right now, a group called the Cult of the Staff has been kind of spreading their influence more and more throughout Shadizar. They recently got rid of a pretty powerful group called the Spiders. And they've basically presented themselves as a bit of a threat. They're led by a pretty bad dude, Urquat, yes, who is all kinds of big bad villain crazy, as far as we know. And as of recently, we decided that we need to start forming alliances with some of the other guilds in order to present a front against this cult. So we reached out to the Trash King and gained an audience with him, and had to go on a good old smash and grab mission to get something out of a bedroom for him.
Found an important ledger for him, if I remember correct.
Mm-hmm.
That is true, yeah. So he's been rather thankful. So, what was the plan this week?
I think the plan this week was that we found out that the cult of spiders had been, or the temple of spiders had been ousted, and they were taking refuge at Dagoth Hill. And we were thinking kind of enemy of my enemy is my friend. Let's see if we can't go out there and convince them, like, hey, you hate Urquat, we hate Urquat, why not team up?
Let's hate Urquat together.
Together.
So yeah, we were gonna go find them and possibly offer them refuge at our newly acquired winery because we're ballers, and yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So,
Including the baller part.
well, yeah, particularly the baller part.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to pick this up in the desert, about a day's ride outside of town. You have been searching for the hill based on where people have told you that it is. And the sun is starting to set. It's starting to get dark out in the desert, which is never the greatest thing. As you ride, you hear sounds of animals, men, you're not sure, but there's been rumors surrounding Dagoth Hill for as long as you've known. People have avoided it, and for good reason. Now, it's often thought of that these rumors are just superstition, but no one's willing to really risk that. Anyone who would like can make me an observation check.
Awesome.
Krillin will make an observation check.
I will also make an observation check.
And
Same.
Yeah. I think everybody wants to get in on this action.
I have a
And-
talent that lets me re-roll one of my dice there.
Same. I got sharp senses now.
Nice.
Nice. I got 3 successes, it looks like.
Oh, I rolled a 13 again. Boo.
Alright, so it looks like we got Kriven has 1 success, Ramesh has 3, Orica has 2, and Kalamir also has 2. So it was a 1 success test.
Sweet.
So anything
How many
excess
momentum
than
do
that?
we start with each?
Zip, 0, and
We got
zilch.
4 momentum.
Yeah, we don't start with any.
Okay, well,
But
I
we-
will... How many successes do we need for this? Because I'll put my rest in momentum for folks.
Just 1.
Yep.
Okay.
And for anyone who may
yeah, I
be
put-
tuning in for the first time, momentum is a sort of currency that you can trade in for awesome things if you get more successes than you need. Which we now have a nice little frame in the bottom middle to keep track of momentum, and consequently my doom, which my
Nice.
doom is equivalent thereof.
Oh, nice.
Is that 4 including the 2 from my roll already, or should I add it in?
I don't think it's been changed since last session, so it might need to be fixed.
And we just got a total of 4 from this here little observation test.
Okay, cool.
So, before we get too terribly far along, I would like to thank Daniel Quasar, who came over and helped me fix my technical difficulties. So this week you should be seeing a nice, smooth stream that doesn't stop in the middle and actually has moving pictures.
Yeah!
Right?
Go Daniel Quasar!
Okay, so it looks like everyone has
Woohoo!
made a successful check, which is fantastic. So you're picking your way through ruins from what you can only guess what they may have been. It's something that existed long before any of you were alive. And you hear growling, and darting your eyes about, you find yourself in the company of coyotes in the middle of the desert. Gonna do a little map change.
Oh hell!
It's a good amount of those.
I don't suppose they're more afraid of us than we are of them.
You know, they don't seem it. They seem
Damn.
pretty comfy. So that said,
They're like, this is my zone.
who wants to start us off? The players have the initiative.
There's. Oh wow. Okay. Collymere gonna. I'm sorry. He's like right in the front there. About to get attacked.
I like your new picture.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's going to.
Is that a thing? This wolf?
Yeah.
That one looks larger than the rest, and it's on top of the stairs there.
Okay. Just checking.
I found some really good pictures this week, guys.
Okay.
That adds fucked. All right, great.
Collymere will stop the advance. That's cool with everybody.
Alright, yeah. Take it on, Calamere.
Mm-hmm. I'll back you up.
Okay. He's going to take a few steps toward them as they're approaching, and pull his axe from his back, and kind of do a spin. He's gonna take a right step with his right foot and pivot from there, and bring his left foot all the way around, and bring the axe in an upward motion. Kind of trying to like hit it like a croquet. Like yeah,
Golf.
exactly. Except it's a sword, or an axe, And I'll spend 2 momentum.
Whoa.
Nice.
Whoa.
What's that?
There you go.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
James?
So that looks like we got. Well, you only needed 1, so that is 3 momentum.
Sweet.
And one of the things I just
I'll
noticed.
put 2 of those back.
One of the things I just noticed I did was the dice rolls are no longer in a frame. So if y'all wouldn't mind, when you make a roll, just announce what you got for everybody.
Okay.
Thanks.
Andy?
6 and 9, 11 and a 14, which is 4 successes.
Okay.
And
So, it should be mentioned that they are all fighting as a horde. So all those wolves are essentially one group, which is a mechanic we haven't really explored in this game yet. It basically, a group of weaker baddies can join together into one big group of, well, worse baddies.
Can I? Is it a next person's turn now?
He's got to determine damage yet.
Oh, okay.
okay, I'm gonna spend 1 momentum. 2 of them I'll put back in the pool, and that will allow me to add Vicious 1 to the quality of my weapon. And if I already have Vicious, which the axe does, it increases it by 1.
Vicious.
So whatever damage I do will be vicious 2. Any effects, rather. And that looks like it's a 6 with 3 effects,
Oof.
which makes it
12.
12 plus. What other qualities does it have? Oh, intense. What's intense again? Oh, that's additional wounds, right?
Yeah.
So 12 damage, James, with 3 additional wounds if it goes that far.
All right, so...
Or rather, an additional. It's not one for each effect.
Okay, so 12 wounds, you say, eh? All right, or 12 vigor, rather. So, that is going to be enough to take out 2 of these wolves and wound another. So, tell me what that looks like as you stride forward to meet their charge. And also move your...
Well,
Go ahead and move your icon when you get a chance.
well, as I said, I did.
Cool, thank you.
So, as I said, he stepped forward with his right foot, pivoted, spun his left foot all the way around, using that momentum to hit the wolves with his axe like a croquet mallet. Yeah. I'm assuming that amount of damage probably split the wolf in twain. Or in 2 at least. And maybe he used that, upper momentum to grabbed it with the other hand and then brought it straight down on the next one that came to bite him.
Excellent. All right, who's going to go next as the well met on the charge there?
I'm gonna go. Since it seems like we obviously have this pack under control, I'm going to throw this alpha wolf here. I'm gonna throw him some shade, and I'm gonna give him the dominating eye to let him know that we're not a force to be fucked with. Can I use this on like non-sentient creatures? Can I use threatening and stuff?
And I think it depends on your method, and I think it depends on the creature. The mentioned steely glare that is kind of built into everything, I feel like you could use.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I want to intimidate this guy, so that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. So it's going to be... Okay, so I got a 1, a 2, a 17, and something that's blocked by a thing. A 19. So that's 6 successes for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to spend 3 of those on damage, I guess.
Okay.
And 1 of those on piercing.
And remind me who this is
necessary.
against again?
The alpha coyote.
Okay.
Wolf.
Cool.
On the stairs up there.
So, tell me what damage are we looking at altogether when you get a sec?
So let's see. I do 7 die worth of damage on a threaten, if I'm reading this right. Bonus damage adds to dice, number of die roll, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I do 6 plus another 3 or another 2 that I added to that one. So, or another 3 that I added to that one, so that's 9, and then I do an extra die of damage on persuasion rolls anyways, or on mental damage, so that's 10 damage, or die.
Dear
I
God.
roll at this thing.
What?
Yeah. If everything is calculated correctly, so there you go. 12 with 2 of the activated ability things, so
Okay.
one of its qualities is that it's stunned.
Tell me. Okay, so yeah, you're basically staring down this wolf till it dies. How does that work?
So basically, as this thing like lets out its like howl and snarl, I let out like a really big like fierce roar right back at it. Like I'm used to desert survival from where I'm from, so like, you know, when being attacked in the desert, this what you do. So I kind of just snap into desert survival mode, but then I move behind these rocks here just in case.
So this this coyote knows a fellow predator when it sees one, and your roar just cuts across. No one can hear anything for a moment over Ramesh's roar, which would seem comical coming out of this man who thus far has been, you know, quick to hide behind walls and whatnot, if it wasn't happening right now, splitting your ears and making your hair stand on end. That alpha bounds down the stairs, yelping, and runs away. Who's next?
Nice.
He is indeed the reason that we Calamir doesn't really talk. Let Ramesh do all the talking.
Right. Gribben, after seeing that wolf run and his buddy jumping and start taking out these wolves, he's gonna take a few steps forward on his horse here to get a better vantage point and pull out his bow and let an arrow fly at this group. Where are we at on momentum?
We have 6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
I'll spend 2 on that. Ooh. For 1 success.
Ooh.
Well spent.
Good thing.
Okay, so that's going to be just enough to hit.
I'm gonna re-roll that 0. It's 8, 2 piercing. I'm gonna roll that. 8 damage, 2 piercing.
Okay.
A bow shot.
Your arrow sings out through the desert, skewering one of them, sending it rolling into the oasis beside it.
Nice, Gribben.
Ulrika.
Well done.
All right, Ulrika is also on horseback, and she swings around wide to end up over next to the pack and slashes downward at the closest coyote with her short sword. Attempting to pierce its back of its skull. And I am going to spend some momentum on that. All right, 2 successes. For a total of 5 damage, 2 piercing.
And your sword does indeed go through the back of the skull of this beast. Before they even knew what was happening. So...
It's like someone's training paid off.
Yeah.
Ah.
The one lone coyote that is left is going to leap at Calamir, fangs bared and howling. Calamir, you want to do anything about that?
Did you start off with Doom?
Oh yes, I do.
12? What?
I start off with 1 doom for each fortune point.
Brutal.
Well, I
Ooh.
mean, fortune points greater than doom, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll give you a Doom. Fuck it.
Taking
I
it.
don't want to get bit. To turn into a were-coyote.
Right.
Is like there be a thing in this? Could you do that?
I'm glad that's your worry.
I don't know.
I don't want to become no werewolf.
Best not find out. Conan.
It's a were-odie.
I'm gonna use a Doom. Or a Momentum.
Get him.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
Nice.
Holy crap.
All
I
right.
have a 7.
Let's see how they do.
I had 3 rolls under a 7. That's pretty awesome. Fuck you, coyote.
James, was hitting them a 1 difficulty test?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So I rolled 1 success.
You needed a 4. So.
So that means you're going to get 2 more momentum. So
Yeah.
it leaps snarling, teeth bared at you. What does that look like in terms of your parry?
You want me to just finish this thing off?
No, tell me what your parry looks like.
Actually, I picture Calamir having bracers of some sort. You know, he actually puts his arm in the way of the coyote, lets it like grip onto it, and uses it to like propel it and toss it.
Nice. Okay.
Maybe even like slide onto the ground. And then he's gonna grab 2 hands on his axe and quick overhead, and like he's splitting some wood. And I may as well Bart. Oh crap! What's going on there?
Yeah, what?
He just
Don't worry
drew us
about
over
it.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been there the whole time.
We'll get there.
Who dat?
Yeah, they have. That's on.
You didn't tell us about it? Whose side are you on? Us or the coyotes?
I figured we're all ninjas. I thought you guys saw them.
I'm only a verbal ninja.
I'm a ninja. Yeah.
I'm gonna gamble some momentum and use it to potentially gain some more. I'm gonna use 2.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a 1. At least 1.
Excellent.
Alright.
Nice.
So, oh shit. That's
Seems like a
actually
5.
5 successes.
Hot damn.
Nice. Get it.
I'm assuming they all moved on their turn, James.
Yes, which was right after that first one went, before you got to do your melee.
Sweet, that maxes us out on momentum.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, and I will use. I gotta roll damage.
Sure do.
Navigate these windows.
Click, click, click.
Feel the kiss of Ishtar. So that's 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. That is going to do in the last of that grouping of coyotes. So,
And I would like to use a fortune point to make a second attack.
oh, okay. Spend them early, spend them often. Go for it.
Well, we get them every session, so I may as well use them.
All right.
He's gonna rush up. He pulls that out of the last coyote on this side and sees them all coming and takes a few big strides and, you know, like he's swinging a baseball bat, tries to hit 2 at once. And that's I can spell momentum on that, correct?
Sure can.
On a cleaving.
Yeah, I think it's something you spend like on damage to have it. You do like half damage to the next one or something like that.
Penetration. No.
Nope.
Secondary target.
Yep, that's the one.
Damn, it's a thunderstorm outside. No attack, it's alright. Okay. So I'm gonna spend 2 on the first attack. Or on the attack. I think that was 2, right? For that secondary target?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think it's something you spend on damage after you do your attack.
Cool. Okay, and that 3 successes.
That's certainly going to do it. By the way,
Okay.
I feel like it probably didn't happen. Make sure you lose momentum for end of round, last round.
All right. So that was 2. Spend another one to make it vicious 2. Man. So that's 4, 7 vigor.
Wouldn't it be 10 because you have vicious too?
Oh yes, yeah. Yep, you're right. 10 plus the intense quality, and what's the secondary target thing do?
It does half damage to a second target, but I would almost think that because you're attacking a group, like the damage just carries over anyway, right?
Yeah, that's how I'm going to interpret it. At which point I'm spending a doom as the final 2 are going to leap at Calamir. One low and one high, circling around the side while you were dispatching their fellows. So I'm actually going to spend another doom to give them an extra dice as well.
But aren't we supposed to have our turns first?
I can spend a doom to seize the initiative and interrupt it.
You can.
Yeah, so I'm gonna spend one doom for that
Jerk.
and one doom to make them that much worse. You want to do anything about this?
James is me.
Wow, there's a thunderstorm in Pennsylvania.
It's like you want us to get hurt.
Calamir, are you doing anything about that?
You already have Doom. I'll let him try. I have a reach of 2.
Alright, so that's one more than their reach of 1. So they need 2 successes just to hit you, which they did get. And then they got a third, which I'll apply to an extra damage dice. So that's going to be, let's see, where do they bite you at? That's important. So that's, one of them distracts you long enough for the other to latch onto your right arm for 3 points of damage, but also plus unforgiving. So give me a moment while I just check that out. Nope, nothing extra happens for unforgiving at the moment. But
the wolf or coyote will never forgive you.
it is latched onto your arm, and you are grappled by this group of 2 coyotes right now.
Ooh.
Seeing that, Criven's gonna take a shot at the wolf biting onto his buddy, because that's his buddy.
Damn right.
And I'll spend 2 momentum on that.
Bam. Okay, and I have a armor of 1 on my right arm. So that reduces it by 1?
Correct. Yeah, I didn't spend anything on piercing.
So 3 in grapple.
And I am shooting the one that's grappling Calamir. Got 4 successes. Reroll that 0. It's I'm gonna roll with that 8-2 piercing again, because that's how Craven rolls. Apparently.
All right.
Right in the torso.
So the arrow goes all the way through the one that is grappling him, from one side all the way to the other, and nicks the one behind it as it exits the other's body. All right, Ramesh or Ulrika? We can just hope
Ulrika is... Yeah, she's going to spur her horse. Words. Onward around the pile of... around and through the pile of dead coyotes and slash downward at the last living remnant of the once mighty pack. I am going to spend a momentum on that. And she does so. She, with a sweeping arc as she wheels her horse around, she cuts into the coyote for 4 damage.
which will be enough to finish it off. So what does that look like?
It has, it's stumbled upwards, and she watched as it tried to make one final lunge toward Ramesh, and instead she intercepted it with her sword as it went to spring forward, cutting it down midair.
And so it is that you stand amidst a field of coyote corpses in this oasis. Alone again in the desert.
You say it's getting pretty dark out
At
at this point?
at this point, it was twilight when this started. It is actually no sliver of sun remains in the sky, and it's almost completely dark, but the stars are starting to take their positions.
Made short work of them, Griven says as he rides over to join his friends.
Nice shooting.
Thanks, buddy. You're on point with that axe as usual.
He like kind of moves his arm, trying to get the pain out. Grabs some cloth, tries to just wrap it around it.
It creaks a bit, but you feel like nothing that won't work itself out within a few moments. Thankfully, it wasn't able to puncture deep enough to cause you any lasting harm.
Okay. Just a little blood.
Indeed. So,
And some werewolf saliva.
Ramesh and Ulrika, as they're having this conversation, you can't help but feel like maybe there's still eyes on you.
Can I make a observation roll?
Absolutely.
Can I also make an observation roll?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend a momentum to roll even more die on that to make sure.
You must. And do you have momentum? Is that something you
Y'all are
There's 3
still
left.
pretty
There was 4
paranoid.
left. I got 2 successes. Paranoia keeps you alive, my friend.
Yeah, right. I am distracted by cleaning my sword and picking my way out from this field of corpses. So I get the weird feeling, but don't actually notice what's up.
All right, so it's a contested roll, and I had 1 success, so there's not going to be any momentum gain for this. But
I had 2 successes.
yeah, so you needed 1 to. I got 1 success, so you succeed. You just don't get any momentum because you needed 1 to cancel mine out, which gives you 1 left for success.
All right, fine.
So
I didn't want momentum anyways.
on a nearby ridge, Ramesh, as you're standing there, you feel like you see something move, and your first instinct is maybe it's more of these coyote, but as you watch it, it's humanoid. Its back bent, its arms draping against the ground, and after watching it for just a moment, it disappears down the other side of the dune.
I tell everybody. I say there's some figure over the dune that way. Corbin, you seem to be good at shooting things.
Is it still there?
It's disappearing over the dune, but I described that it had hunched over figure and like sloping arms. If anyone would know what that would be, insight to know what that was.
Or lore.
Yeah.
You can definitely make a lore roll. I don't know if the lore roll will tell you what it is as opposed to what it could be.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna do-
rumors are better than nothing.
I did not know what I just saw.
I think I have a talent that relates to this.
Mm-hmm. Friends, I don't know what I just saw disappear over that dune there.
Oh, maybe
It's
it was one of
sloping
the
arms.
monsters of Dagoth Hill. Griven says, like
Ooh.
almost jokingly.
And you all laugh maybe a little bit, but none of you write it off.
Yeah, I coolly grab my whip anyways, but laughing.
Yeah, right? We're like, ha! Oh, legends! And I grip my sword a little bit tighter.
I wonder, should we chase it down? Or maybe stay here for the night and wait for morning? We got this nice oasis here,
Well,
all this delicious coyote meat.
if it's just a creature with nothing to worry about, if it's sentient, then it's reporting back to whatever it works with.
And now you know you should be close to Dagoth Hill by now, too. You've never been there before.
Yo,
But if
perhaps we
anything's
could
to be
follow
believed-
it to Dagoth Hill.
Yes, if we can push on,
But I know very little about tracking, so I calmly whip out my fin and start fanning my face.
I think I might be able to track it down a little bit.
Oh, good. Good.
All right.
Not going to eat these delicious coyotes. We're chasing this monster.
We could take some with us, slump it over your horse, man.
Oh yeah. Griven jumps off and
Definitely.
throws two of them over his horse.
Yeah. I'm not saying don't bring coyote meat for later.
So am I correct in that you want to try and track it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right after it and try to tail it.
Okay.
I ride up to where I saw it. I lead
Oh.
Criven to where I saw it.
I am thinking animal handling, but I am totally open to other suggestions.
I was thinking survival.
yeah, same.
Oh, there it is, under
Agreed.
awareness. Okay, yeah, I was looking for something survival-ish. It's rare that we've had to roll it. I was like, I swear that's a thing.
Can I assist him on this check to like point out where I saw the tracks and stuff first?
Yes, you can.
Whatever
yeah,
assisting does.
that's legitimate.
Okay.
You get to basically, Criven gets to roll an extra dice for your assistance.
Okay. Good luck, buddy.
And I'll spend 1 momentum on this as well. For a total of 4 dice. Because my roll's aight. Boop. 2 successes.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you needed.
Bam.
You make your way to the dune and you find footsteps that look like boot tracks. Or perhaps sandal. You can both... So, did everyone follow them on this? Did everyone go up to the top of the dune? Top of the dune?
Calamir definitely did.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah. Just stick together.
Okay, then
Right.
you are all welcome to give me observation checks.
Try to figure out what kind of sandals they are, you know?
Yeah, how many straps do you have?
Right? It's not better than my sandals.
I feel like this is a really good time to plug our early episodes, the first 3 we did of this, of Session 0, which we used Microscope to plan out and talked much about the Sandal Emporium of Shadowzar. So if you don't know about that, you should check it out.
I'm going to re-roll one of my D20s there. Bam!
I got 0 successes and a bad thing happening.
Excellent. We'll save that for just a moment.
I stare into the sun.
No, my reroll was a crit, so I actually got 2 successes.
All right, so
The sun shoots up immediately and blinds Ramesh.
you were supposed to have said. All right, so everyone beside Ramesh gets 2 successes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Then you see not too far away the same being that Ramesh had seen earlier, making its way along the bottom between 2 dunes. Barely visible in the dark.
I don't see it.
Do
You guys
I
are crazy.
recognize this being at all? Like, does it, spur anything in my memory that, oh yeah, of course, that's a desert hex dancer.
Give me an insight.
I'm lore? No, I'll give you an insight.
Nice.
I succeeded. And I have a talent. Actually, yeah, I'm going to use my insight-related talent. Oh, okay, so that is 3 successes total. And if this is something sorcerous or unnatural, you have to tell me that.
Wow. It's not.
Oh man.
It appears to be just a man.
Okay. Just to kind
You
of...
got that 6th sense too?
Yeah,
Emily?
yeah, I do.
Yeah. Great, right?
Just a kind of hunched over, shuffling guy. About 4 straps on his sandals.
It's terrible desert posture.
They seem to be moving quickly away from you.
Okay.
Follow him.
There's multiple?
They, as in you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't rush to gendering the person that we see. So follow that person, that being.
I say we chase him down.
The singular individual.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you all start running after this individual?
Yeah.
Do we have horses?
I'm on horseback.
Yeah, I never got off my horse.
I got a
Do we
horse.
all have horses?
Mm-hmm.
For purposes of this, yes, you're all lent horses. Merry Christmas.
I have a horse named Jackass. I got
Oh,
my
you
background.
actually own a horse. That's right.
Yeah.
I also own a horse.
Yeah, a horse actually came with my class too.
Yep.
Okay, raise your hand if you don't own a fucking horse.
Well, you can't really see me right now, but my hand's raised. Okay. I'd be lucky to have a donkey.
You can ride on my horse with me, Calimere. You just have to share with all the dead coyotes.
Well, they're over my. I'll just throw them over my shoulder.
Cool.
All right, so
What a wonderful stew.
we are
Not
going
to mention those pills.
start this off by having Ramesh roll me an acrobatics roll.
Whoa. Why?
Oh, you'll find out. Don't worry about it.
Oh
Uh,
no.
I spend
This
a
is-
I spend a fortune point to get
Good call.
Let me just say that going into this. Yeah, so I got 2 successes thanks to that fortune point.
Okay, so your
Worth it.
horses take off, running down the dune. Ramesh, due to that complication you rolled earlier, yours missteps. Their hoof, suddenly sinking down into the sand, pitching you forward onto the ground, rolling off of your horse. Thankfully, fortune super favors you, and you
course
manage
it
to
does.
land directly on your back as opposed to your neck, mitigating any damage you may have taken, but your companions soon leave you in the dust as they race forward after this person. Everyone's still writing.
I'm very used to this. I swear at Jackass. Call him by his sake. And then you guys, as you breeze past me, hear me swearing in Vendian, up and down at this horse, like it's all completely its fault, and yeah.
So as he's swearing at the horse, everyone else give me animal handling checks.
Oh no.
Would that include me? I'm not really.
Oh, you have the borrowed horse that I thought everyone would have to have, but apparently y'all rich.
I've got some family background to give me a horse.
Yep. I'm gonna spend a fortune point to handle this animal.
Okay.
See, I see this going the same way that the first time I ever rode a horse at the age of like 8. I feel it's gonna go the same way.
Okay, you gotta tell us now.
Yeah, Brad, what happened when you were 8 years old?
Well, it went about the same way. I got a 0 in my animal handling skills. I didn't receive any instructions before they put me on it, and then somebody smacked its ass, and it just took off. I got thrown from it, did a tuck and roll.
Sounds like
I
my
was
first time
into
too.
an electric fence.
Nice.
Like guns. God, that's a.
I would like. I think that this is maybe a first in our time playing Conan. That I rolled 2 20s
Oh, wow.
on my animal handling.
Doubly
What?
complicated.
Double complication.
Whoa. Okay.
Doors explode. Spontaneously combusts.
So you're writing. All three of you are writing down this person hard. When they suddenly bank left and start shooting up the dune instead of taking the hollows between them, you all try and run your horses the opposite way. Calamir, you run into a little difficulty. It takes you all to turn around, but not near as much difficulty as Ulrika, whose horse runs into yours and falls, trapping her leg beneath the horse. Wow. Rolled 5 dice, only got 1 in effect. So for one vigor, and you're stunned. But Kriven, your horse leaps over the fallen one of Ulrika, and you continue racing up the dune, racing this person down, and you're near right behind them. What are you going to do?
Man, all you guys falling over.
Calamir, I think, is going to stop and help her.
Yeah, Criven's gonna see this whole spectacle and turn around to help.
So
Thinking
Kriven,
that he can totally track this guy later.
Kriven, you're the only one that's still on them. It's up to you, but you're close to writing them down. Your call.
Mm,
Go get him.
yeah, I'm gonna write him down. I'm gonna look back and just mutter under my breath, like, amateurs, and just keep forging ahead.
All right, so what are you going to try and do?
I'm gonna try and chase this guy down.
Okay, but so you get up next to him though. Like, what's your end goal? Are you diving off the horse?
Oh.
Are you gonna try and trample them? Like, what does that look like for you?
Ooh, okay, so I'm like right beside him, pretty much.
Yeah, you're pretty much like right there.
Let me check this out. I'm gonna try. Would it be acrobatics to try and jump off of my horse and land on this guy?
I would say so. Yeah. Give me some
Cool.
acrobatics.
That is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spend 1 momentum on that for 1 success.
Okay, which was we'll say is what you need to make this happen. So you leap from the horse, and you crash into this guy, knocking him to the ground, and his hood falls back, revealing a face with patchy facial hair and a tattoo that starts on his forehead but descends all over his face of a spider, with the legs reaching behind his ears and down his cheeks. And he looks fearful as he's pressed under your weight, and he starts begging, "Please, please don't hurt me."
We're not here to hurt you. You're from the spider cult, aren't you?
Yes, yes, I'm from the spider cult. We are far from our home.
So we've heard. We come in peace, my friend. If you could come and help us with my friends and their horse troubles, we'll explain everything.
Which he does, and thankfully your horse is no worse for wear, Orca. Ramesh, this is nothing new, but you managed to get Jackass under control.
Ugh.
And this, once everyone is situated, this nameless NPC takes you back to their camp.
What's your name, friend? Just kidding.
Bob Spiderman.
So, it doesn't take you long until you're moving toward a great hill that is rising out of the desert. There's the remains of stone walls not far from it, and you can see what looks like they used to be crumbled structures on top of the hill itself at various
Look at that
places.
keep up there. Oh, it's a
That-
shame it had to crumble.
Someone here just got themselves a fortune point.
Woo!
Um,
Hey, that's the name of this show.
So, he leads your horses up this hill to what was the sole point of light in the night, which turns out to be a fire. And gathered around it are many more hooded men and women, many with similar tattoos. Anyone that wants to can make me either an observation or society roll.
Ooh.
Say observation or society?
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
Observation.
Can I use my thievery skill that is substitutes for society and working with other people, other thieves, and
I'm gonna have to go no. These are one of the few people in Shadowzar that aren't thieves.
I'll make a
So-
society roll.
This is what it's a homeland talent. I have it
Yeah.
too. And it says
Exactly.
when interacting with an NPC for the first time, you can make a free thievery test to gain a general feel for the trustworthiness of the NPC.
Okay.
So
So-
that sounds to me like thievery would be in addition to the society roll.
Right. If you wanted to make that particular roll, you certainly can, but it would be a different thing than what we're doing right now. But you're welcome to make it.
I got 3 successes on a society roll.
And I got 2.
I got 2 on observation.
Okay, so Ramesh.
You.
Go ahead, Orica.
I am going to make that free thievery test to get a sense of their trustworthiness.
Okay, we'll handle that next, but feel free to make the roll, and we'll get to the results of it in a sec. So,
Can do.
Ramesh, you net one momentum that you can either spend now or save. Now,
what is this? What is the society roll in? What am I rolling towards?
Basically your initial observations of what's happening here with the people.
I'll spend the momentum on that roll. I wanna make sure I know I'm sizing everything up appropriately when we start talking and stuff.
So where's it at? I think there's a specific momentum spend.
It's called obtain information, right? Is that the one you're thinking of?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Which I have two different momentum charts in here, and there's only one in the screen. Let's see if I can't find that right quick, because it would be a real handy one right now. But as I'm looking, so for Ulrika, because Ulrika, you rolled 2, right?
Correct.
And it was society?
Correct.
Okay, it was slightly harder for an observation roll, as this is much more reading the relationships between people, we'll say. So, you all notice that it seems like they're almost all centered around 2 different people, but on almost 2 different sides of the fire. Just judging on stature and body language and the way people move about, there are two people, a woman and a man, who appear to be in somewhat control here. On the left side of the fire, there are many cloistered around one of them, and on the right side, there are many cloistered on another. Now, it's not quite as dramatic as I make it sound, but reading between the line, which is what both of you are good at, that's what you gather.
Okay.
This might be. Feel free to say that this doesn't get covered with the amount of successes that I had, but is the vibe between the 2 groups kind of like neutral? There's just, party A and party B, or is there tension in that?
I am gonna say that you don't quite have enough to figure that out.
Okay.
Would my have extra momentum spending have made that visible to me?
Yeah, quite possible. Sorry, I'm still trying to find that spend, because I think it's something really specific. Like, you get to ask a specific
question. It is. It's like you get to ask the DM a pertinent question about the situation or something like that.
If it's a pertinent question, it's exactly what Emily just asked.
Okay, just, going through the index, looking at...
Are these criminals?
If you're looking at an actual book, momentum, I think, starts on page 268.
Oh, I found it's on 103.
103. The obtained information spend you see there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright. Momentum allows a character to learn about a situation. Each point of momentum spent can be used to ask the game master a single question about the current situation, item, object, structure, creature, or character present or relevant to the scene at hand. And I must answer it truthfully, but I do not have to give complete information.
So yeah, do they seem like at odds with each other, or do they just seem like they're kind of separated?
There is...
Only the smarter way of asking it what Emily said.
Right, what Emily said. There does seem to be a bit of tension in the camp.
Okay. Unless anyone else has any plans, I will go ahead and start talking at these people.
Does the James? Can we resolve the thievery rolls that Calimere and I made to get a sense of their trustworthiness?
Yes. Does it set a difficulty for that?
D1. So we both succeeded.
Okay. In general, I'm gonna say that the trustworthiness of the group. Does it specify if it's a group or a single person?
I believe it does. I can read it off here in a second. Once I talk through finding it, and it will be right here.
Oh, you got it, Brad.
In the land of corrupt merchants and honest thieves, you have gained a sixth sense about those who are likely to betray you. When interacting with a non-player character for the first time, you can make a free thievery or counsel test, average difficulty, to gain a general feel for the trustworthiness of the non-player character.
Okay, so two things I got out of that. Number one, I'm going to have you pick a specific non-player character, and number two, you have to interact with him. It's going to have to be more than just, like, looking at him, you know?
Cool. That seems fair.
I'll let you keep your rolls if you'd like, but the other two things have to...
You mean what, do two separate for each of the people?
Yes, it will be a separate roll for each person.
Each of the...
Okay. Well, I have someone in mind to talk to, and I imagine, Ramesh, you do also.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to roll whenever.
I was curious, did I see anything in particular with my 2 success observation roll?
No. No, it would have had to be a third success observation roll.
Okay. All right.
So I got 3 successes on the second NPC.
So tell me what that interaction looks like, though, because you have to interact.
I'm assuming everyone else is talking to them. I'm going to, stay put back, listen to their voice, listen for any cracking.
I'm gonna have to go that it's like it has to be an interaction between you and the NPC. It can't be based off of others. You'll have to talk with them, arm wrestle them, tickle them, something. Don't tickle them.
I'm gonna give them a wedgie.
Roll
they didn't
for
trust us
wedgie.
before. They won't trust us now. Well, Ramesh was gonna talk, right?
Yeah.
Can I, instead of interacting myself, listen to the interactions that Ramesh has and note to Ramesh?
Not with the readout of that power. It's going to have to be your personal interaction.
Based on a handshake?
I'd even take that, honestly.
A handshake, look in the eye.
So who are you handshaking? There's a person on the left and a person on the right. If we're just gonna, the woman on the left and the man on the right.
Who's going for who, guys?
I'm gonna go talk to the woman who's kind of the center of her own little group.
Okay.
I'll talk to the other one then.
All right. So who wants to go first?
Ulrika approaches the woman on the left side of the fire who has a small collection of followers around her, And she approaches her with kind of a deferential posture and says, "Greetings, leader. We come to present ourselves to the spiders as potential allies. I am Ulrika Tervingi. My family has lived in these lands for some time now, and I am eager to make the acquaintance of a powerful figure such as yourself."
So the woman stands up proudly and gives like a semi-short bow to you. "My name is Yerund, and this is what is left of the acolytes of the Temple of the Spider. Welcome to our new home." And there's just something in her body language that you don't trust. Something about the way she moves that seems like she'd be likely to pull a dagger at any moment and shove it in your back.
Okay. I keep my distance from her, kind of keep a little space between us physically, and say, "You have my condolences for the disaster that has befallen your great organization. We also are concerned, nay, outraged at the strange forces brewing in Shadazar."
Yes, but unfortunate as that may have been, things happen for a reason. We have been driven from our ancestral home. And just to say, if the brazier is even still lit. But we have found a new home in Dagoth Hill. These crumbling ruins can be made into something new, where we can worship freely.
I do not doubt that you will build back stronger and more powerful than you have ever been before. From your tragedy may grow triumph.
Yes, you understand. Everything is opportunity, isn't it?
Everything is opportunity, and I'm look forward to the opportunities that we may also find here.
So let's cut to Calamir.
Ramesh, are you stepping up too?
You guys got your thievery things first to resolve, so this is your talk to him first.
No, I don't see it like that. I see it like we're all stepping up to say hello. I'm gonna give him a handshake and just kind of introduce him to you.
Okay, that works.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we all step up, and Calamir, being the strongest and most intimidating physically, offers his hand first. Pulls his hood back to reveal his freakish face.
And remind us what that looks like.
He's got a few scars, but the most prominent is over his left eye that has been left completely useless, and it's evident. He generally doesn't wear an eye patch just because he prefers the intimidating factor of Milky stare.
Okay.
So he extends his hand.
And
To shake.
Ramesh, go ahead, Ramesh.
Does this guy introduce himself when he shakes his hand?
Yeah, does he
Okay.
shake my hand or not?
If you pause,
Yeah.
if you pause while this happens, sure. He stands up and shakes your hand with a reserved, almost humble stature. Welcome to our camp, traveler. I am Denzir.
And I am Kalimir Shaka of the Thousand Hands of Fortune. And this is Ramesh.
The Thousand Hands here?
Yes, my friend, fortune smiles upon you this day, and I give a big shitting grin as I say that.
And I continue to watch his movements.
Are you the leader of the people that have already resided here?
If only it were that easy. The leader was killed by the cult of the staff bearers. But there are
That is
many.
a shame. What?
There are many who look to me for guidance.
Why does there seem to be such a split between the two of you?
You are observant, Ramesh of Shadazar.
Is what they pay me to be.
The other person over there who is speaking to your companion is Yerund. She wishes to stay here. But without our temple, what are we? We still have a pet upstairs that we left.
Truly an organization is not a place, but the people that make it up. As long as you have that, you can't ever really be gone.
What do you mean by that? And, Kalamir, you notice that they seem to be really genuine in their actions and their reflections.
I say we are not currently residing in our base. Are we any less the Thousand Hands of Fortune?
Perhaps not.
No. View your temporary eviction as only a minor setback. As long as you don't lose faith that you are still an organization, you don't really have that much that you've lost.
You say temporary, but
Yes.
Yerund would have it otherwise.
Well, let her have her desert.
And he begins to nod. Let's cut back to Ulrika.
Yeah.
So, it seems like there are, as she starts to walk and makes it like almost semicircle around you, there seems to be others that her followers, which suddenly become almost literally that, as they begin to follow her pace, as there's like 3 or 4 of them behind her. So, what are these opportunities you speak of?
I come here with the Thousand Hands of Fortune, and Ulrika kind of pauses and stops walking and like turns and gestures back toward Kriven, Ramesh, and Kalimir, and says, "We have deep roots in Shadazar and wish to see them grow ever deeper. We came here to find these displaced spiders in hopes that you all might set your sights back on the city and join with us in the fight against the staff bearers."
She shakes her head. You look for allies, but you will not find them here. This is our new home, and we have no intention of leaving.
You have quickly turned away from the city that has been your home for so long. Why do that?
She leans in and gets really close to your ear and begins to speak in what is almost a whisper. You are... If you would like, you can make a discipline check right now.
Is it a freebie, or do I give you Doom for it?
It's a freebie. We'll give you a freebie.
Okay.
So it's not so much a combat.
Yes. I am going to do that. Three discipline success.
Okay, so that's going to be 2 momentum. She leans in close to your ear and whispers, "But can't you feel it? The power of this place? You are different than them, your companions. You know more than you let on. Do they know that? You can feel it, can't you? The power." And something about her manner makes your hair stand on end, but you shake it off.
Yes, of course. I feel the power in this place, just as I have felt the power underneath countless ruins that I have sifted through and explored. I respect your desire to tap into this nexus, but for me, I go out seeking these places of power and bring back what I want from them, not make my home here.
Then she straightens up away from you. Then this is not the place for you. You may enjoy our hospitality tonight, but in the morning, I would ask that you all leave.
I give her a little, respectful nod and say, your hospitality is much appreciated. And then I turn and walk away from her and her little group of followers.
Feel free to give me an observation roll if you'd like.
They're gonna kill us.
I do not observe anything.
Okay, you stride away to rejoin your companions. You walk up to them as they are speaking to Denzir. And how's that conversation going?
Well, great. He's eating out of the palm of my hand.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I say there's nothing wrong.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Whisper on.
I was going to whisper into your ear that I believe our mission to convert, or not convert, but ally with these people, that this guy is the key to that.
Yeah, I agree. So I say, friend, let her have her desert. I say, there's nothing wrong with having your groups divided up among several different locations. In fact, it seems more defensible and makes sense. However, we can offer you a slight change of scenery from this terrible heat.
What kind of roll you want to make for me? You tell me.
Persuade.
Obviously persuade. All right. Do that.
Obviously a persuasion roll.
There.
Yeah. Let's see. I am just naturally charming, so I'll get a bonus momentum if I make a successful persuasion check. Which, let's be real right now.
Wow.
So that's 2 successes.
Only 2 successes?
I know. I was like, only
Right.
2. Wow.
Well, so I only roll the extra dice when I'm attempting to intimidate an opponent, but that's all it says in the rulebook, so I feel like it's really loose about when you're actually intimidating.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to intimidate this person, so I don't roll anything extra. But I did gain an extra momentum from this.
Okay. So I am going to say that it was a 2 difficulty test. So you don't get any extra momentum just for the roll, but you still get your bonus momentum for, being you.
Great. I spend that momentum to make my teeth sparkle and be even more persuasive. Ding.
Throw a little
Trust
wink
us,
in there.
buddy.
So Denzir nods. Yes, well, she can have her desert, but I can't leave my people.
Your people are welcome to come with you as well.
There is a way. There's a way we could convince them all to follow.
Oh, what's the matter of talking? Let's chat.
Yerund has... When our master fell, before the cult of the staff, there was so much blood. I don't even know how they breached the walls. But Yerund grabbed the drum. The little hand drum. It is what soothes our pet upstairs. If even it still lives. But many have seen that as a mark of power among the spiders. As if that alone could determine who should rule us, who should run our temple, who should lead us in worship. It's always been more than that. It's always been more than the drum. It's been the person, it's been the belief. But others don't see it that way. They don't see as deeply. They see Yerund, and they see that Yerund has the drum, and so they follow her. If you could get that drum, things would be different, I know it.
Is she just like waving the drum around when I look over? Or...
She's like playing it like a
Playing it around.
trampoline.
Playing it, like having a drum circle with their friends.
Come on, guys. Join hands.
Since you're actively looking for it, when you turn to look at it, you see a small hand drum hanging from her hip.
Boy, that would take someone who's better at thieving than I am.
Right.
So I gather it's the hand drum or nothing?
It is your best bet. It's the only thing I know that they'll follow without question.
If we are unable to get it, will you still take your half of your people and come with us?
To my gods, I promise. I will try. I will try, but I can't promise what Yerund will do. She may start war between the factions.
Well, that would just be playing into what the cult of the staff would want.
Yerund doesn't care anymore. She's changed since we've been out here. Something has come over her.
Can you guys offer us safety tonight when we rest?
You can
In your
stay in
camp?
my tent. It is perhaps the safest place.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you. I immediately say, "Friends, let us retire to the tent," and I motion for the rest of you guys, the crew, to like, "Hey guys, Gonna go talk about a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Griffin
Okay.
gets off his horse and goes over.
Yeah.
I was on
So-
the horse the whole time.
Yeah.
You're just
Hanging out.
just staring down at everybody from your horse.
Mm-hmm.
That's a range.
Right, just
Yeah.
kind of checking things out. Griffin's
No.
not much of a talker, you know.
Bows and arrows exist for a reason. Okay, so let's take a little break there, and we'll come back to
Hooray.
your conversation in the tent and start part 2 of this episode.
Cool.
Oh,
Our
bones that came before.
previous episode,
The demon world gave way to the innocence of the new god. Built on the bones of those that came before. The pound gave way and joy, which gave way justice in vain. One fell to Synesia, one fell to the forces that already muster outside its very walls. Nothing is permanent. All buildings one day crumble, all nations one day fall. Be it one day fail. There are those that live in legendary eras of stability, and then there are the heroes who strive to forge order to force. The kings and pulp, their series still. It's their source of which. Get ready for Crumbling presents The Isles of Samsaras, a D&D actual play podcast. Into iTunes and your favorite podcast apps April 19th. Like Crumbling Keep on Facebook or go to crumblingkeep.com for more information.
Okay, thank you everyone for your patience. I'm still sitting down and putting my headphones on. I think I really need to find a better, longer piece to play while we are taking our break. In any case, what you just saw was a commercial for Crumbling Keep's podcast. Crumbling Keep presents The Isles of Samsaras. It is live on iTunes and your favorite podcast app. We'd love for you to take a listen. It is an actual play D&D podcast, edited to sound more like an audio drama. In any case, thank you also for joining us tonight. I'd like to do a shout out to Roll20 for making this possible. We have been playing various games on Roll20 for years now, and we're all in different parts of the country, so it's really been great for us to actually still hang out on a weekly basis and play some games. We've also been hearing music and sound effects from Sirenscape tonight, which is a great little service for adding ambiance to your games. Sirenscape it has like a few different services. It has like sci-fi, it has fantasy, but it has like so many different sound sets that you can mesh together in various ways to create your own custom ones. Or if you're just looking to throw something together, it's a few clicks of a button and boom, that's Sirenscape. If you want to be following more of what we do, you can follow us on Twitter at Crumbling Keep. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/CrumblingKeep. And that's where we have a whole wealth of information up. We also, in case anyone missed it earlier in the episode, we started doing our Conan carousing phase, which is a great mechanic built into this game. We are doing our carousing on Facebook now in the Tales from the Tower Facebook group. Crumbling Keep presents Tales from the Tower. So there's some really good carousing that happened in between last session and this one. And there's been little pieces of information the PCs have been finding that you're only going to be able to find out there. They very well may play a part in the game. We'll see what the PCs do with them. but I figured it'd be a little fun way to go about that. It's a really neat mechanic, carousing. But anyway, you can find that in the Crumbling Keep Presents Tales from the Tower fan group on Facebook. If you really like what we were doing and you would like to see more of it, or you'd like to see better quality of it, well, we'd love you for either. You can go to patreon.com/crumblingkeep. patreon.com/crumblingkeep. And any little amount that you want to throw at us would be great. Is anyone else back with me yet?
I am.
Fantastic.
Right when I sat down, I saw like sound bubbles coming out of your thing. I was like, I hope he's not just talking to nobody.
Well, I mean, our large, impressive viewership is hanging on every word right now.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, they are.
Thank you, large, impressive viewership.
Super into it. Super duper into it. But let's give a little shout out while we are actually talking about that on people who have joined us tonight. First off, and I've already done this once, but Daniel Quasar, who has made this stream look actually smooth and good with moving pictures, has tuned in tonight. So thank you for joining us. Well, you're all playing the ever fantastic and wonderful Erin Delaney, who has helped Crumbling keep out a great deal. She's been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work and is also working on a super secret playtest thing that's going on right now. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. But thank you, Erin, for joining us.
Erin.
Nate Bevan, Jason Evans, thank you also for tuning in. Damon Bonham, you have shared so many of our things and liked so many of our things. Thank you also for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate that. Mary Mellons, your support is super appreciated. You have also helped us out immensely and have given such good advice. And you're just generally all around pretty cool. Anna Kellogg, also thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you stopping in, even though all of this is confusing. But cool. Thanks for the support. Glad to see you. Anyone have anything, any personal things they want to put out there? Any projects they're working on? Any contact info they want to put out? Any jokes they want to tell?
So 2 Conans walk into a bar, right?
Hi, I'm back.
Thank you. You saved us just in the nick of time.
I was really... Well, yeah, I was wondering where that was going to end up.
I want to hear what happens. I came in at 2 Conans walk into a bar, so I don't know how we got to here, but I'm really wanting to know what happens.
So, also on the note of Conan jokes, for anyone that's on Twitter, there is a wonderful account called Conan the Salaryman that is written in the style of Robert E. Howard, as if Conan were a office worker. For instance, their latest tweet. Yes, this is what we're going to resort to now, is we're going to read other people's tweets on our show to keep it interesting. Barkeep, slurred Conan, head on the roofwood and planks on the table. My flagon is dry, by Crom. He pushed the empty clay pitcher off the table to prove his point. Well, that one's good, but I feel it's not very salaryman-ish. Conan's phone buzzed. He swiped his screen with callous thumb, then scowled in confusion at Sonia's text. She knew he was no longer a buccaneer. Why ask if his invitation to meet this evening was a call for booty? Anyway, you were gonna say, Justin?
Nice.
I would also like to point out we played this in the chat one day. Apart from like any time anyone else outside of us would see it, but when we were replacing movie titles, one word with Conan.
Oh man, that was fun.
That went on for
also
days.
did really excellent results. like
I
Conan actually.
I really enjoyed Fast Times at Conan High.
Yeah, that was the first one that popped in my mind.
Set up a Conan.
Yep.
Hills have Conan.
Yep.
The hills have Conan. All right.
Conan and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Well, without further ado, let's get back to
the Conan.
Modiphius's Adventures in an Age Undreamed of. Conan the Thief, Episode 4, Part 2. So, setting the scene, you are all in this tent that is owned by Denzir, who tells you that will be the safest place in the camp. And, you know, if nothing else, Calamir thought he looked pretty trustworthy. So, what's it look like for y'all right now? What's this tent scene look like?
I kind of rush everybody in and then do my traditional pull a fan out to cover my mouth as I'm speaking to them. And I say, friends, once again, this entire situation hinges on us being good at what we do. It appears that the only way that we can get everyone to follow us is by getting control of that hand drum that that she seems to possess over there, and by giving it to yeah. But he also says that there's something wrong with her and that she's been acting supernaturally weird since entering this place.
Oh, I felt that when I spoke to her. My first impression was that she would just as soon stab me in the back as speak to me. And then, surrounded by her faithful acolytes, she couldn't stop herself from speculating on the intense power of this place that changed her.
This place is rumored to have strange powers. But that's just stuff you hear when you're a kid, you know?
Well, Calamir says just make a distraction and I can either kill her or take the drum.
I feel like, is she gonna pose a threat if we take the drum?
Oh,
And
I
not
don't
kill
doubt
her,
it.
I bet. Think she would challenge someone to honorable combat? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Spitballing here.
I could just kill her if this other guy has as much influence as you hope. And if not, you could probably persuade them. You got a silver tongue there, Ramesh.
It's true. As long as we have the drum, that seems to be the source of all of our of what would get us what we need.
Well, I say we wait till everyone falls asleep. Should be any minute now.
I'm into it.
I'll slip over in the cover of darkness, or at least me and Calamir.
Yeah. I am not one for stealth. I will leave it to you two to do that. I can always provide a distraction, though. I can sit here and regale people with tales if we need.
Everyone doesn't go to sleep. That's my suggestion.
Mm.
Is it one shared tent,
Yes.
James?
Correct. Yes.
Oh, so the tent's
big-
fucking huge.
Yeah, it's
So,
a
like,
big tent.
we're in one tent. Oh, is there only one?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's all one tent shared between all of you right now. It's pretty big, but it's not like the entire group of acolytes is sharing one tent, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're just in Denzir's tent,
Right.
which is probably nice and big.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the biggest, if not the
Comparatively.
biggest.
And just for, theater of the mind, what kind of tent is it? Is it a teepee? Is it more of a yurt? Isn't that what they're called?
Yeah.
Or like a circus tent.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, is that what a yurt is?
It's in that shape, right? It's kind of circular, but
Yeah, it's certainly
Instead of
more...
having one angle, it's multiple angles,
It's certainly more yurtish than anything
like a
else.
like a circus tent.
So our option A is, or like plan if it goes best possible, is we sneak over there and steal it, and then if that plan goes wrong, we kill her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. I mean, well, there's also the option of we just leave these people to kill themselves, basically, is what it seems like is about to happen here.
We built
Well,
Once we have the hand drum, we'll be able to get all of them instead of just half.
precisely, or it evolving into Civil War.
yeah, well,
Once Denzir has
Yeah.
the drum, I would imagine at least a big portion of Yurund, I think her name is.
yeah.
I would think a big portion of her people would abandon her, if not pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
It's
And
true.
they might even
And-
turn on her and kill her for us, the next day when she's like, "Where's my drum?"
She seems pretty wild, especially if she's being changed by this place. She might be too much of a wild card to keep in the picture anyways.
Fair enough.
So we're all agreed. Once things die down, let's sneak over and
Yep.
Agreed.
And we will regale whoever's left awake or in the camp with stories and stuff to provide more of a distraction for you guys, and we'll... Boom.
so coup it is.
Yep.
Yep.
Standard coup.
Anyone that wishes can give me an observation test right now.
I wish.
I wish as well.
Same.
We got one.
I am going to spend a
Me
momentum on
too.
that observation test, in fact.
I'm gonna use a
Oh.
fortune point.
Nice.
You got 0.
2.
I didn't uncheck it yet, so. And I
Alright, so it was simple. Anything above a 0 is going to get you momentum.
Ooh.
Nice.
Hey,
I'll pop that in there.
thank you.
Puts us up to 7.
Can I borrow someone's success to also succeed, so we're all on the same page?
So
Is that a thing in this?
Well, when it's simple, a 0 is a success. It's just you roll for possible complication.
Oh, okay, cool.
impossible
Sorry to
momentum.
cut you off, James.
That's okay.
Or the ability to get momentum.
Oh, okay, cool.
And, that obtained information spend can be used so often. Anyway, you all hear footsteps outside the tent.
Say again?
You all hear footsteps
We all
close
hear.
outside the tent.
Okay. Calimere readies his axe.
Looks
How
like
many-
someone's time for the weekly garroting to happen, it sounds like.
Right? How many people are in this tent with us? Is it just us and Denzir?
Denzir hasn't even come into the tent. It's just you.
Oh,
So it goes quiet.
If we're noticing that this is happening, then I continue to keep talking, but about like nonsense planning to let the person seem like we don't know that the jig is up.
Oh yeah, we're meant to deliver that wine.
Yeah, we're just, chit-chatting about, like,
Yeah.
oh, could you believe the fight last night at the Copper Key? My god, I lost 2 gold on that fool.
So suddenly the
Told you to
tent,
never bet on the kids. They're always made to look bad at first.
the tent suddenly erupts.
Calimere slowly.
The tent suddenly erupts into flame, as if someone threw something flammable directly onto it.
what the hell? Criven,
Oh hell no!
Criven's pulling his bow off his back as he rushes for the entrance of this tent.
Okay, so
Yeah, Ulrika draws her short sword as she bursts out through the tent flaps into the night.
Can I cut a hole?
absolutely,
cut a hole.
yeah, absolutely, you can.
All right.
Are we all starting outside the
Somehow the
tent,
opposite end?
assumedly?
Yes, so
Okay.
you all run from the tent, getting scattered in different directions. And around you... Go ahead. Do you had a
Is that where
question?
the tent flaps are? To the north?
Yes.
Okay, so I slip out the back.
Okay. So you all split into different directions going outside of the tent, and you see around you numerous masked people with a lot of death in their eyes.
Are they the followers of the other side?
It's probably a really good guess.
Well, so much for them joining us.
They're not wearing your colors. I mean, it's certainly not enough people to be all of the followers of the other side, don't get me wrong. But your math probably holds true here. But in any case, it's going to start with the players as you make your way from this burning tent.
Okay.
Get 'em.
Do we notice people? Do we notice these people?
Yeah,
that
you
up?
see them all over the place. They are not
Okay.
hidden.
Calimere is going to go straight for this dude here. And if he can't reach him, he's going to chop at whatever is holding him up.
So yeah, he's actually atop a rather large ruined watchtower. So it's going to take an action to climb atop that if you want to start doing that.
All right. Use a fortune point to have another standard action.
You could, it's true.
Okay. So he's gonna get up top of there, and once he climbs up, he's going to take his axe and attempt to chop right through him, but like in the direction of knocking him off.
So it'll probably take you, like, if you want to knock him off, that's something you could spend momentum on as well.
Okay.
So it's,
Afterwards, after a melee attack, or before?
it would be a momentum spend afterwards. Really, the only time you have to spend momentum before an attack is to get yourself extra dice. But
Okay.
first you're gonna make an acrobatics check to climb the thing, or not? I'm sorry, athletics.
Use momentum. Good, two successes.
Okay, which is what you need to climb it. So you heft yourself up beam by beam. I am going to spend a doom to seize the initiative, and they're going to shoot an arrow at you as you're climbing.
Okay. And I almost took a down in one of those. You to dodge. Should attack.
Sorry, just finding their stat block real quick here.
So yeah, Calimere is climbing using the the bearded part of the axe as his hand, so he doesn't have to put his axe away.
All
And
right.
if this guy's going to fire and he sees it, he's going to try to deflect it with the axe. Is almost like a shield.
If you want, I will let you make a parry roll, but it's going to be at 2 greater difficulty than normal, because that's a difficult thing.
Okay.
Do you want to spend the doom to do so?
So that would be a 3 difficulty?
It would be 2 just for it to succeed, and then every difficulty after that would cancel some of my successes.
I'm not that great with parrying, so never mind.
Okay. So that is going to be 1 success. Hey, Kriven, what kind of damage does your bow do?
I have a Bosonian longbow. It's 5 damage and it does piercing 1.
All right, so you are shot in the right leg for 3 damage. 3 you know what I mean. 3 damage with 1 piercing. Vigor, 3 vigor, 1 piercing in the right leg. All right, you can finish out your turn now as you leap atop the building.
Okay. So yeah, he's gonna swing. Did I already make my melee?
No, you did not. I cut you off before you could.
Sorry, guys. Alright, I'm gonna use. Two dice. Or 2 momentum.
All right, you're going to use 2 momentum. Okay. I am totally going to take that complication. But you did get 4 successes, so tell me what that looks like first.
Say again?
So,
Roll for damage first.
yeah, I'm going to use that complication after that.
Oh no. I have an idea where this might go.
What, like I'm some cheap hack?
Now again, can you add damage to an attack afterwards after you roll?
Yeah, the only thing you have to spend momentum on is adding more dice to make a skill check. Before it happens, that is. Anything else you can spend after the fact, even.
Okay.
You can roll your damage and then add the piercing and extra damage as you see fit.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna add the vicious thing for 1. Is somebody tracking it?
Tell me about Vicious.
I can do it.
Well, since he shot me with an arrow, he's really pissed and he's gonna string a little extra hard.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant what does Vicious do? That's if you do a wound, you do an extra wound.
1 damage for every effect. So we had 2 effects, and the axe has Vicious 1, which using a momentum means that for every Vicious 1 I have, it becomes Vicious 2. So it's actually +4 instead of +2.
So 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage, and I'll use 1 momentum to negate 2 soak.
Okay, so an arrow
Should I
grazes
roll
by your
location?
leg. No, not. You don't need to roll location for Nemesis, and these are toughened. So an arrow grazes by your leg as you leap atop this structure. Ishtar's kiss, your bearded axe, comes crashing down, shattering through the longbow into this assassin, crashing into him. Unfortunately, your momentum carries you forward as well on this uneven ground, and as the body of this assassin rolls off the roof and plummets to the ground, you're in danger of doing the same. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Can it be acrobatics?
That depends.
That's kind of.
Tell me what you want to do.
I'm going to try to balance myself.
So you're already rolling. What does it look like?
So I'm teetering forward. I use my balance, my agility to not grab onto something, but to balance myself. So I move my body backwards in motion to steady myself.
All right, give me a roll.
Okay. Nice. 4.
All right, so that's going to be 1 momentum.
I'll put that down.
You find yourself suddenly, after tumbling a few times, you roll back over your shoulder onto your feet, and you find your heels hanging off the edge of this while your toes are still on it, and your arms are waving in circles in the air to throw your weight forward instead of backwards, even as you hear the thump of the body hit the ground behind you. Next player.
Cribben is gonna, having rushing out of this tent, he's gonna see these two guys right in front of him. And before he gets too close, he's just gonna drop to one knee and let an arrow fly at this dude right away. And I will spend 1 momentum on that. Oh no. Take your doom.
No.
Take your doom.
I am. I'm going to take the Doom for now.
Yay!
The doom.
Alright. That's 3 successes. That's 2 doom, or 2 momentum, I take it.
Yes, 3 successes will be.
Put that damage in there. I'm gonna re-roll those 2 zeros there. Hell yeah. That's gonna be 9 for piercing. I'll spend 1 to do a damage dice. Bam. 10 damage, 4 piercing to this guy right in front of me.
10 damage, 4 piercing, you say? Okay.
Yep.
There's no fanfare. There's nothing fancy. There's not much to describe as your arrow goes in one side of his right arm and out the other, right through the meat of his shoulder. So he falls over to bleed to death. Next player.
And then, like clockwork, Criven's gonna spend a fortune point and shoot another arrow at this dude. Not even caring if the other one hit the dude, he's just taking another shot at this guy.
Before the first arrow even hits, the second one is in the air. What's it look like?
Spend another momentum. 2 successes. Reroll those 2 zeros. Oh. Come on,
Womp
bro.
womp. Alright, so what do you got all together?
It's gonna be 5, 3 piercing, and I'll spend 1 momentum on a combat dice. Oh, you turd.
Wow.
I
So
hate you.
of his rerolls, he rolled 3 dice and 0 on each of them.
That's 5 damage,
Ooh.
3 piercing.
So
To, the left arm.
he dives out of the way of the arrow, flattening himself to the ground, leaving himself in a compromised position, which is what his loss of vitality is looking like right now. He's easier to hit for an actual kill. Oh, well, no, because you did do 1 wound. So we'll say it tore through his left arm as you did as well. Okay. Ulrika or Ramesh?
I'll go.
Go for it.
So these dudes right here. I'm going to. Can I only threaten one person, or can I like threaten a group?
Unless you have some sort of certain skill, you can only threaten one person, and the range is close, so you'll have to be in the same zone as they are.
Okay. Into the zone. Yeah. And I'm going to threaten this guy that's closest to me. Right here.
Okay.
And you better believe that I'm intimidating him. And I scream, "You fools! Do you know who you're messing with? Think about your actions, lest you tempt fortune." And I look all menacing when I do it. And give him the crazy ass eye, like I'm gonna
Eat him.
All right,
Yep.
roll for that ass eye. Whoa.
Oh.
haven't eaten.
That's 5 successes.
Wow.
Sure
What are you going to do with all that
is.
momentum?
I'm intimidating him.
Hot damn.
Yeah, well, I will spend. Can I spend a momentum to make it also affect his friend?
I would think you could do secondary target.
Yeah, totally. But I think that's 2 momentum, or am I making that up?
Yeah, it costs 2. to do
I will
secondary.
spend 2 of that momentum then to also affect his buddy behind him.
Cool. So to do half damage to him.
Okay, cool. And then I have 1 momentum left over that I'll put towards damage. And I'll spend 1 extra momentum out of this pool towards damage as well.
Okay.
Why not?
Right.
So that
Right.
puts me at 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, or 9 combat damage.
No piercing?
Or
No.
no, is that 9 dice?
Yeah, 9 dice worth of damage.
Got ya. Okay.
Yeah. So 4 with 2 effects going off. Mm-hmm.
Combat dice are not our friends right now.
Yeah, right?
Now, where's that?
Jesus. Yeah, I don't have any way of re-rolling any of that either.
There's some talents.
Yeah.
So what effects does
Oh,
that
I gain a
have?
bonus momentum. They're stunned.
Okay. So they both
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
they both at least freeze in their tracks as they think about just that. Who are we dealing with here?
Yeah.
All right, Ulrika.
Yeah. Think about that.
All right, Ulrika is going to rush up in Ramesh's wake, brandishing her short sword and calling out, "Step back, you fools, before your gods strike you down where you stand. And if not your gods, my sword."
Poke.
Yeah.
I am gonna spend some momentum on that. Be unfortunate if, after all that, my sword didn't hit.
Nice.
you go.
2 successes. Oh, sorry. 3 successes.
All right. Can you move yourself up to who you're in melee combat with when you get a sec?
I sure can.
Thank you.
So Ramesh intimidated the 2 guys kind of on the upper side of this bush. Is that right?
This
Correct.
one and this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go after this front guy here.
That's one here.
Yeah.
Gaia.
What?
And
This guy.
This is the unstunned one.
So,
No,
surely not this guy.
I think you're going after the stunned one. Am I right?
Oh, okay.
yeah, the stunned one has already been dealt damage, correct?
Mental, yes.
Ah, okay. Well, in that case, I will go after the unstunned one. Since if it's mental damage, then I'll let the mental damage continue on these other 2 guys. Let them quake in their boots.
Give this guy the old 1-2.
Right. This guy, I'm gonna spend a momentum on extra damage for him. James, did my 3 successes generate any momentum?
Yeah, you only need 1 to hit.
Okay, so then I'm gonna spend both of those momentum on extra damage, and that's gonna be 6 damage, 2 piercing.
6 damage, 2 piercing, you say?
I do say.
Okay, okay. Alright, so your sword flashes out, and you do cut into their side as the assassin tries to dance back away. They immediately step forward, swing their scimitar in a counter-strike.
Alright, I parry with my sword.
They got 1 success.
I'm spending a momentum. I got 1 success, and I would like to give you a doom to avoid that complication.
I'm sorry,
Huh?
I'm gonna actually spend a doom instead, so I feel okay about what happens next.
Okay.
Your sword comes up in front of you to block the strike, and it does so, but it's also battered out of your hands, and it flies into the dirt by your side.
No.
So these 2 are stunned. So they stand there uncertain what to do, yammering. This one up here is going to take a shot at Calamir, who is standing dangerously on the edge of the building.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to do anything about that, Calamir?
What's going to happen?
The archer on top of the other building is going to shoot you.
Can I try to drop down? I can only parry, right?
No, for acrobatics is what's used for range attack.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's still a doom situation.
Sure, I'll give you doom.
Okay.
I'm hurting.
I'm going to spend that doom to roll an extra dice.
Roll an extra what?
Roll an extra d20, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to use momentum.
Alright, so I got 1 success.
Oh, I got this. Wait, why didn't I roll a third? Apparently I didn't use the... Anyway, I got 2.
Oh, and you gained yourself a momentum because they only got 1. So, with your toes on the building and your heels hanging off, an arrow is speeding toward you. You manage to swing your left leg around, pivoting on those toes, and landing on your right heel. So now your heels are on the building and your toes are not, as an arrow flies past you. Criven, this one next to you closes in and is going to swing their sword at you, thrusting it toward your torso.
Ooh.
You want to do anything about that?
I'll give you a doom to try and dodge that.
Okay.
That's going to be an acrobatics, right?
No, it's going to be parry since it's a...
I guess I only have my bow in my hand.
Alright, no parry for you, sir. Unfortunately, you need a weapon to parry with or a shield.
Fair enough.
You know, I'll tell you what. I'll let you parry with your bow, but complications will be bad.
Ooh.
I have a decent parry roll, but I don't like the sound of complications.
Yeah, right?
Your call.
That seems...
Do it. Peer pressure. Peer pressure.
All right.
Peer
Peer pressure. I'm doing
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna
spend 1 momentum.
spend that doom on an extra dice. 3 successes.
Oh.
Oh, bastard. No complication, but
Alright, so that is going to give me a doom. So you attempt to raise your bow in the way of his sword strike, but you're not quick enough as it comes and thrusts right over the bow into your torso, dealing 2 points of damage.
Warp.
nice. And I have 1 soak on my body, so
Dealing 1 point of damage.
yeah, take that.
And even as he's withdrawn his weapon, one is running up from behind you to do the same. Do you want to give me 2 doom to parry this one?
I think that's a little too much.
Okay.
Do your worst.
And I do. With 2 successes, I'm going to spend 1 of those on an extra damage die.
I've seen worse.
Does anyone else view James as like actually doing like the evil villain like finger tapping together when he's like, "I'll do it for 2 doom"?
Yes, right, absolutely.
So,
this time it's worse.
just so everyone thinks we're not playing Let's Make a Deal, as part of the mechanics of Conan, your first parry cost 1 doom. If you have a weapon with parry, it subtracts 1 doom from that, so it costs 0. But your second parry has to cost 2, and so on and so forth. So the more you parry, the worse it gets. But in any case, that's going to be 4 damage. Let's see, where is he going to hit you with that? In the left leg. So 4 to your vigor.
Alright.
Minus whatever soak you may have.
I actually don't have any leg soak,
Alright.
sadly.
So you feel the flat of the blade ends up hafting into your leg, and it smarts. You feel it throb. I imagine that's not enough to do actual damage, but it's going to slow you down and make you that much closer to taking actual damage. So, lose a point of momentum because it's the end of the combat round and the players are up.
I'll take care of that momentum.
Ulrika is going to try to scramble backwards and pick up her sword from the dirt where it fell Is there some sort of like disengage action, or am I just opening myself up to an opportunity attack?
There is a withdraw action, but it takes your actual standard action.
Okay, yeah, I will take the withdraw action, and then as my minor action, it says draw item is a minor action, so I figure picking up my sword from the dirt could be the same as drawing an item.
I'll agree with that.
Okay. She ducks down low, crouching, with uncanny agility, and then scrabbling backwards, gripping her sword, and then pivoting around to face the assassin who knocked her weapon from her hand.
Excellent. Who's next?
I'll go. Criven, being surrounded by these two dudes now, with his free hand that doesn't have an arrow in it, he's going to pull out his fencing sword and take a big, wide slash at this guy that he shot with an arrow earlier. I'll spend 1 momentum on that. And that leaves us with 2 momentum, so everyone knows. Aha! 1. Do you wish to parry, sir?
Oh, no. No, I'm not going to spend anything on parrying for them.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna stab this guy then. Oh, unforgiving doesn't do anything. It's 3. Damn. I'll spend 1 to ignore 2 soak. Just make sure that gets through. So 3 damage, ignoring 2 soak.
Okay, and that's
To his torso. The guy that I shot earlier with the torch in his hand.
Okay.
This guy.
And
Yeah, I'm all over this dude.
that
Can you handle this?
I don't know that I can. That is just enough to do him in. As
Would
are...
you say, I don't think you can handle this? I don't think you're ready.
Ready for this, Jelly?
Is this a 1,000 hands thing?
I am totally okay if the 1,000 Hands of Fortune become Destiny's Child. That seems good to me.
I would like to say that we have Destiny's Child on retainer.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
We exist in a beautiful time before Beyonce went solo.
On that note, who's gonna?
I'll go next.
Destiny's Children.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
Cease and desist order incoming.
again at these two groups of these two guys here, I'm gonna say, like, look around you. Do you want to befall the fate that your idiot friends have befallen? And I point to all the blood everywhere and stuff.
There's a lot of it.
There's all that blood, you guys.
Oh, it's everywhere, man.
Yeah.
There's some
Super
here,
gross.
some over
Super
here.
gross. What happened? 4 successes, so I will spend and I generate one extra momentum. So I'll spend 2 of those to include another target. So I can get both of them again. And then I'll spend the other 2 on damage. Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
I do
So
think
this time I'm going to focus on the other guy for the primary damage, so that the secondary damage goes into the guy I damaged more last round. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes. I do feel like you have to spend
Okay.
a momentum per person you're causing the extra damage to, though.
I thought the other guy just took half the damage of the other thing.
We'll go with that for now, but we may have to check that out in the intro.
You guys would know better than I would. You played this way more, so.
Oddly, not many people have used this this effect.
I mean, if that's the case, then that means I have one floating momentum, which I will put towards the pool then, and only one person takes extra damage, I guess.
Okay. Well, for now, we'll figure it out for both of them, but that might change for next episode. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So that's 9 again. Yeah.
Better rolls than last time? Yeah, I'd say so.
7 with 3 successes, so if they're not totally scared, they're... Again.
And the half damage does round up, it says.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they're both sitting around some good amounts of mental damage right now.
Okay, just doing me some math here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Huh?
they both look
Mm.
incredibly shaken. Oh, wait. Okay, so 5 points of damage does do a wound. So the one in the back flees,
Cool.
screaming.
Nice.
The one in the front looks half mad with worried eyes and is starting to gibber as he doesn't know how to act and is, well, super fucking stunned.
Cool. I want to spend my move then to get closer to underneath this tower here, so that I would not be a reasonable target for homeboy up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get that.
Like using the tower for cover against him.
I do know what you mean.
All right,
Yeah.
next player.
That's my turn.
Kalimir is going to get down off of this tower. Did his axe go with him? With the person he killed?
No, you managed to catch it as it's sliding down along the roof, obviously.
That's probably what pulled me forward. Alright, so I guess standard action to move down there. Right?
Uh,
Yeah, and then
I'm gonna say it's high enough up that you'd have to give me an athletics or acrobatics check to move down.
Alright, acrobatics.
Okay.
So one success.
You drop down with a tuck and roll. But yeah, that would have been
Okay,
your standard
and,
standard action.
So these two over here are still
They're still kicking.
hostile.
mhm.
Or do I come and help my buddy? I think I'm gonna come and help my buddy by using
Hey, buddy.
Hey, guy.
a fortune point. And I'm gonna try to. Can I can I put my axe away? And pull out my
I believe that's a minor action to draw something.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna try to come up and just hit him over the head with my axe.
All right, let's see what that looks like.
That looks like I'm also gonna use. Do we have any momentum left?
We have 1. And we're going to lose it at the end of this turn. So rock it out, man. Oh, wait, we have 2. Hey, man.
Well, I used one of them at least.
I'll change it. Nice.
So 3 successes.
Nice.
Okay, 3 successes will certainly do it. That's 2 momentum.
That leaves us with 3 total.
1 back. And yeah, I'm just gonna put 1 back. Or rather, that's right. I can make that just an after.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like. Oh wow. 4 points. Oh, that sucks.
Right?
That is 7 dice.
Yeah.
That's not the greatest.
Yeah.
You gotta get that.
Ooh.
You gotta get that reroll in zeros, man. It's a way of life, man.
Yes, I will use that 1 momentum to add 1 combat dice.
Ooh,
What the?
that is another 0.
4 points of damage total.
All right.
And I guess that won't cause a wound, so never mind.
All right. So next player, or have we gone through everybody?
I think that was everybody this round.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
True story.
Yep.
All right. So Calamir, the one that you just hit, turns to face you and is going to swing its sword at you. Do you wish to do anything about it?
Just try to jump out of the way, but I don't wish to parry.
All right. So unfortunately, you weren't jumping quick enough. That is 1 success. So that sword swings toward your torso. So minus any soak, that's 3 vitality to the torso area.
Vigor. Vigor. And my armor will soak 1 of that.
So, Ulrika, the one you engaged is going to try the same for you with its sword.
I am going to take my free parry.
So I have 1 success. At your left leg.
I have 1 success.
So your sword flashes downward, protecting your leg, crashing against theirs right as you pick it back up again. How many effects did you roll on your last roll, Ramesh?
How many effects did I roll?
Yeah.
3.
Just 3, I think.
Okay, we're gonna get silly. I'm gonna spend 3 momentum to overcome that stun, and 1 to give an extra dice. As
3 momentum?
I'm sorry,
Or
doom
Or
rather.
doom.
Doom. Okay.
As suddenly the man who was like gibbering and cowering a moment ago snaps out of it and runs forward in a blind rage. His face, from what you can see of it where it's not wrapped up, a bright red. There seems to be little left of humanity in him as he comes forward and swings with all of his might. Do you wish to parry?
It's free, right?
If you have a weapon that has a parrying quality.
I don't.
Okay, so you can give me a doom to parry if you want.
Didn't we decide the fan can parry? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, I think we gave the fan
The
parry.
fan parry?
Parrying
if
one,
the fan
yeah.
can parry, then yeah, I can parry.
Yeah, that's right. Steel staves.
Yeah, I forgot what the fan could do, so yeah, I'll parry then.
All right. So I got. Let's see. I think that's only 2. Yeah, 2
Do you
successes.
fan yourself right after?
What?
Do you fan yourself right after?
Yeah.
Swing.
Uh,
All right. So your
I
fan.
rolled 8s with both 1 over what I needed.
Oof.
Ouch.
So your fan isn't quite quick enough to get in the way of that sword as it speeds toward your torso. And I'm going to spend my doom I just made on an extra damage dice. Do you have any armor
Okay.
on?
I do.
Okay, that's good, because this is going to be 5 damage toward your torso. 5 vigor. Which, if you don't
Oh,
soak
man, that
anything, would be
sucks.
a wound. But since you probably have some soak, it
I
won't be.
have 2 soak.
Which is enough to make it not a wound.
Yeah.
So
So I take 3.
yeah, so you
Yeah, 3 to the vigor.
like quick step backwards, your back slamming into this building behind you as you attempt to dodge it. And finally, Criven, you're gonna get an arrow shot toward you toward the other from the other archer up top.
Alright.
You want to do anything about it?
I can roll acrobatics, right?
If you
Try
want to
and-
give me a doom, you can.
I will,
Okay.
because I don't want to get hurt. And I'll spend our last momentum, because we're going to lose it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no, I get to go. Oh no, no.
Yeah, no,
it's,
this
it's
is
all
Java.
on me. Yeah.
Attack. Gotcha. This is the end of the round.
Mm-hmm. Aha. Swing.
Okay, that's enough as you jump to the side and the arrow hits into the dirt. New player round.
Criven,
Go ahead.
as he spins, he just lets his sword fly out of his hand, and when he stops, he's already got an arrow coming, and he actually shoots it at the guy attacking Ramesh.
Aw, thanks.
No problem, buddy. Don't fail me now, Bo.
Please don't really fail him now in a horrible way.
Complication.
Yeah.
Alright, 1 success.
You accidentally shoot your bow instead of the arrow. 1 success is enough.
Come on, big damage. Bam. Oh. Oh, good piercing, though. I'm gonna re-roll 3 of those zeros, which is the most zeros I can re-roll.
There you go.
That's 6 damage, ignoring 4 soak.
I don't think they were wearing heavy armor, so
Yeah.
Nothing that heavy.
very.
And I put that right in his arm.
So right as he is pulling his arm back for another strike, Ramesh, your face is... You're suddenly blind for just a moment until you blink and the blood runs out of your eyes as you see an arrow protruding from said arm. Next player. He's still standing, however.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I'll slap him with the fan while I'm right here, I guess. Unless someone else is going.
Or, I mean, you could yell at him.
That's true. He's probably almost.
I told you
almost.
to leave.
Yeah, right. He's messed up.
You got a hole in your arm!
I told you to go, but here you are.
Didn't I
Yeah.
tell you to go?
Yeah. Can I just yell at him and be like, "You've brought the wrath of the devil down on you"?
Oh, yes you
Like-
can. Especially like that.
Yeah. Great. That's exactly how I do it.
Whoa.
So yeah, there we go. That's six
successes.
Whoa!
I melt the skin off his face when I say it.
Wow.
Ah.
Okay. That's obviously 5 momentum.
So, yeah, that's 6 momentum because it's a successful persuasion check. I think so. Yeah. What I'm gonna do is spend. Oh fuck. Okay. 2 of the momentum is homeboy up here. Also in the same section as me now, technically.
No, he's. There's not a white line around those roofs, but those are in a separate section.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Then, yeah, I'm going to do. I'll spend 2 on extra damage, 1 on piercing, and then I'll put the other momentum into the pool for everyone else.
Cool. Leaves us with 3.
Yeah. And I scream, "Turn down for what?" at this guy, and
Down for what?
like when he yells in the phone and it melts the cop's face.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, and that's what it does.
Oh,
For 11 points of damage.
oh my God.
Plus, I go Super Saiyan on him and like scream him into the ground.
So, first off, if anyone has not seen the music video for Tearing Down for What, Do Yourself a Favor is one of the greatest pieces of art out there in the fucking 21st century. Secondly,
Yeah.
as you yell that you have brought the wrath of the devil upon them himself, he maddeningly just starts laughing, and it is apparent that he has lost all semblance of sanity as he like rushes you again with a sloppy swing, and then like
Whoa.
he's like flailing now, less so than actually swinging his sword, and you find him pinned against you with his sword between, well, you and him, and it doesn't take much to just give it a little push into his stomach, and his laughter turns from a laughter to a gurgle as spurts of blood start coming out of his mouth, and he falls to the ground dead.
Should have ran away with your friend.
All right, who wants to follow that up?
Yep.
Man, that's gonna be a tough act to follow.
How much do we have?
3.
Okay. Calamir is going, since this guy not only hurt his friend, but him too. He is going to let out a rage and try to chop this guy's head off. I'm going to use a fortune point to do so.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay, that's going to be enough.
It's 4. So 3 momentum.
I'll write that up.
Putting 1 back, and I'm gonna use. What's the momentum spent for a called shot?
I want to say it's 2.
I think it costs 2, yeah. Yeah, 2 to choose your hit.
Yeah, I'm aiming for his neck.
Nice.
Which looks like. Oh, actually, and I'm gonna use 1 to make this vicious 2. So 5, 9, plus intense.
And reminder about intense again.
That adds a wound for every a wound to however many wounds are done.
Okay.
Yeah, if it does the wound, it does an extra wound.
Well, that is enough with his loss of life to do 3 wounds. So we'll say that, yeah, you cut his head clean from his shoulders.
Nice.
All right, next player.
That's gonna be me. And with that, Ulrika goes to stab this assassin in front of her, right up between his ribs under his right arm, screaming, "Haven't you seen what we've done to your friends?"
You people are vicious.
Yeah,
They started
right?
it.
We're gonna play something gentle after this season, like everything is dolphins.
3 successes.
That's gonna do it.
So that gives me 2 momentum that I'm going to spend on extra damage. And 2, 4. We're getting to the end of this momentum round, so I'm going to spend the last momentum that we have.
That's 3.
What was that?
I think we have 3 momentum left over.
I think we have 2 left over.
Oh, okay.
Truth.
So I'm going to spend the 2 that I got plus the 2 that we had on extra damage for 6 damage and 2 piercing.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh.
And Ulrika, steps forward onto her left foot, lunging deeply and thrusting her right arm forward as she growls the words of farewell into this assassin's face.
All right, and how much damage altogether?
6 altogether.
6 altogether, which is going to be enough
Plus
to...
2 piercing, yeah.
That's even going to go through the armor. Okay, so that is all kinds of wounds. It slides up underneath his armor into his armpit, and you feel it slosh around in what must be some organs. And as you're yelling that, his face grimaces in pain, and he yells out before, just slumping, the weight of him pulling himself off of your sword. And I am going to spend 2 doom as all of you immediately look up to where last you saw the archer, and where now you only see fire, and it seems that he has set the building on fire and disappeared into chaos while no one was watching.
Well, anyone get the drum during that?
Right?
Yeah.
Are these cultists that have been attacking us?
They are not.
Spider.
Well,
No, these are followers of what's her face.
Well, that's what I meant. Like, are they her followers, like other spider cult people?
so you take the cloth off of one of their faces and you recognize them as, yes, they are indeed.
Her followers, okay.
Where's Denzir?
Denzir, oddly, comes running just then. No, what has happened?
We were attacked. We went into the tent, and moments later, it was on fire. We were surrounded.
My tent on fire? It must be Yerund. And you notice that there is a crowd gathering now. And they they look angry as they are looking at the bodies on the ground.
I mean, Ulrika, like, throws out her arm and gestures to the fact that now 2 different buildings are on fire. Gestures to the fact that, what was it, Criven, who took a wound to the torso? Or an injury, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
says...
also took...
Oh, yeah, like... Several of us have been injured, and I, gesture around and say, "Look at what you have done. You amongst you, your own people, is this how you treat guests? Burning down your leaders' tents? Sending assassins after those who came to you in peace?"
Do you...
And I'm gonna try to make a, Can I make, like, a group persuade to try to get the crowd on our side here?
Yes, for this you can.
Okay. Anybody want to give me an extra D20 on this?
And if you do, tell me how.
I'll back you up, Flavor Flav style. I'll aid with what she said and say scream. We thought the spiders were a group worth saving. Apparently, we were wrong. Go get 'em.
James, you were saying if I do make a.
I was just gonna say if someone helped you, I wanted them to tell me how, and they just did. So we're good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fortune.
Yeah, I am going to spend a fortune point on this because why the heck not?
Brad, are you okay? You seem to have a cough. Is that allergies?
It's horrible allergy season here.
All right. So with my fortune point, that is 6 successes on the persuade check.
So that is
Yeah.
3 momentum. As I set the difficulty for that task at 3. 6 is a ridiculous roll. The crowd seems to calm as they take note of the tensions that have been going on and realize you're wounded as well. Your words seem to ring true. And that is when Denzir points out, "No, it is her!" and points toward Yurund. And everyone almost turns at once. And Yurund starts running.
Is she close enough to be hit with an arrow?
I'm gonna go
And
with...
I can shoot at long range, too.
I'm gonna go... It's gonna be super difficult because of the amount of cover, but I'll give you a shot.
Alright.
And again, a difficulty, or complication rather, might have not great results.
What's up?
A complication might bring you not great results.
Oh.
Why you gotta say that, man? Just
Can Calamir sneaking around the cave?
Can Calamir what?
Like, since I'm on the other side, I'd like to sneak into the bushes and then around.
So, for purposes of drama, it's definitely gonna be a, like... You're not gonna be able to cut her off. You'll have to run after her.
Yep. So, we have 3 momentum, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna spend 1 on the shot and 2 to hit her in the leg, and a fortune point. My last fortune point.
Nice.
So,
Yep.
3 dice.
Nice.
Bam! 5 successes.
Well, heck, that's even more momentum,
Oh, sorry, 6 successes.
which is 2 momentum.
And yeah, I hit her in the leg.
What kind
You
of
know,
damage you're
running from
packing?
me. Should I roll damage or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I don't wanna. I'd rather stop her more than anything. 4 damage, 4 piercing, and I'll re-roll those 3 zeros. Surely 1 wound won't kill her, right?
Nah.
Famous words.
All right.
If she
I
does.
guess not that it really matters as long as we get the drum right. So it's 7 damage, 5 piercing to a leg. We'll say the
Okay.
right leg.
Uh,
I got a thing for right legs.
you hear her scream as she ducks behind some stones, some old pillars, dragging her leg behind her.
Criven's gonna run after Nittany.
Can I say in a voice that's clearly not my own, does like part of the crowd like, he's right, let's get her. Like,
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a whatever you want to give me. Well, I imagine it's going to be persuasion. That doesn't sound like intimidation.
with that, yeah. So it's only the 2 die roll for that one, but it's not. I'm not intimidating anyone. So
Nice.
only 3 successes on that.
Only 3.
Which is
Yeah.
which is what I set it at. So the crowd surges forward as well.
Let's get him, fellas. Ooh, man. I've been here this whole time and I hate her too.
She's just terrible.
Yep.
She's awful. I hate her.
So all of you
I want to listen to the other guy.
all of you round the rocks at the pillar as like one huge mass of group, which is when all of the spiders stop. And you catch a glimpse of her for just a moment as she disappears into a darkened archway that appears to go downward into the ground.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Did we like that archway was there before, or did it just show up?
It was part of the ruins
Was it
of
just
this
part of
place.
Okay.
Well, I would say let her go be crazy down there, but we probably shouldn't leave her alive to have machinations against us.
Right.
Yes. She still carries the drum with her.
Yeah, but it seems like the crowd's kind of on our side, though.
True. But it is a special artifact of the spider cult that's used to like calm the beast, they
It's
say.
true.
They'd
So I
like
guess-
us even more if we got it.
Guess we'll go down after there and kill it off of her.
So
Alright.
you all make your
So
way.
just like stealth down there.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll.
Working on it. Where is that? Agility.
Yep.
Nice.
Very nice.
Sweet. 3 successes.
So Calamir disappears into the ample shadows that are within this archway, and you all start making your way down. You hear her laugh from somewhere far away, and you're having trouble placing exactly where. You can feel it, can't you? You, Ulrika, you can feel the power here.
I say nothing out loud, but I kind of give a little scoff. I've been to many powerful places, strange arcane temples and whatnot, and she doesn't intimidate me.
Well, Calamir, one of Calamir's talents is the ability to hide or mask the movements of his allies. And I'd like to do so as we all descend down.
Hey, nice.
Okay.
Hey.
What does that look like? How does he do that? As far as flavor,
It just, tells them to follow him exactly where he steps, so that you don't step on anything that makes sound. Stick to the soft sand as opposed to
so Calamir,
stopping to
give me an acrobatics roll, since it seems you're in front.
2 successes.
So as you're spending your time telling everyone where to step, being very careful with everyone's footsteps, a cascade of rock starts falling from above you. You manage to dive out of the way, pressing yourself flat against the side of the building. Or, I'm sorry, side of the hall. As just some small stones cut into your flesh, giving thin trickles of blood. You avoided actual injury. It doesn't block the hallway at all, but it does seem that perhaps she was ready for you. I have surprises. So many surprises.
Cribbin draws an arrow and knocks it as she says that. Making no sound. No sound.
I mean, she knows where we are, I think.
Yeah.
She dropped rocks on us. Can I try to intimidate her? Firstly, intimidate her by saying, "Stand down, witch, and we'll spare you your life."
Go ahead and make a roll.
Persuasion. Intimidate. Oh, that's a nat 20. That sucks.
Oh no.
Bummer.
Yeah. It's a really bad time to get one. I don't have a reroll power.
Right.
Yeah.
I have found so much worse than you. And I'm gonna say that you're.
3 successes. Otherwise.
Oh, you got 3 successes?
Yeah, with just the with a negative thing happening or whatever the nat 20. Have a doom. Just take the doom. Just take the doom.
Take the doom.
Take the doom. Do it. You won't.
Do it. Do it.
Right, I'm not going to.
Take the doom.
I'm
Just
gonna
enjoy the doom.
I'm gonna go with no. I'm actually gonna spend 4 more doom and have you all make acrobatics checks.
Oh. You Twizzler. I don't know if that-
Whistler, that's a good
I'm
one.
gonna spend a fortune to get 2 successes on this.
we have momentum, right?
You know, actually,
Yeah, I just gave you guys a bunch of momentum, so
so am I. Ramesh, I am also gonna spend a fortune point to get 2 successes,
it seems
which I'm
appropriate.
glad that I did.
I got a success anyway, so that's 3 successes for me. So if somebody else fails, I will happily.
I'll spend
that.
1 momentum on this.
You can use that momentum you just garnered to give someone else an extra die, but you can't just hand them the success.
Oh, okay. Well, does anyone else not succeed?
I got one success. Hopefully that's enough.
All right, so the target number was 2.
Okay.
Yeah, two.
I will. I have 3, so I will pass my extra die along to give Criven a reroll.
He's got to roll any extra die for
Or
a
an
skill
extra
test
roll.
is the only thing you have to roll before the roll. Or spend before the roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Even
Yeah,
if
so
okay.
you'd have to be like assisting me like when you assisted
Oh,
Ulrika with the persuasion
never
check.
mind then.
so
Well, then you're screwed.
the entire ground starts to shake now. And parts of the hall just start to collapse. You all jump left, right, flatten yourself to the ground. And when the dust begins to clear, you see Criven pinned under a stone, having taken 2 points of vigor stress.
Ouch. Help me.
2 points of fear.
2 points of vigor.
That's vigor, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Ah. Trapped. Criven's trying to push this rock off him.
It is going to be an athletics check.
Can one of us?
I'm gonna help. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna help. Do
Uh,
it. Do it up.
I'm gonna say it looks like it'd be a lot easier for someone who's not trapped under it to move it. Someone moving it from the outside will need less successes than someone who's underneath it, in terms of who actually rolls here.
Can I give a dice to whoever tries to help me
Yes, absolutely.
by trying to push it with them?
Totally.
I do that.
All right. Now what is it? Brawn, athletics.
Athletics.
Okay, so 3 dice.
Athleticalness. Nice.
Nice.
Killed it.
4
So that's
successes.
2 momentum.
Nice.
You manage to get the stone off of him, and you hear weeping up ahead.
What's up ahead?
Weeping, huh?
Yes,
Does it sound like her?
it does.
You're right, 'cause she's dying.
Mm-hmm. I should have kept
I
that
didn't think
bitch.
she'd die.
She's upset about her butt kicking that's coming her way.
Or it's a trap.
Is anybody else stuck
Most likely that.
underneath the stone?
Nope.
No.
Nah, it's just me.
Okay.
Criven's gonna get up and brush himself off, and then I think we should try to stealth toward this weeping.
Agreed.
I'll stay back then. I'm not stealthy.
All right, everyone, give me stealth checks.
Well, again, I can use my talent to mask everybody under my.
This is
stealth
true.
skill.
Oh, that's
I rolled
right.
a-
Yeah.
I rolled a 3 anyway. I actually have pretty sweet stealth. Being an assassin and all.
Nope. Chump, 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 chump.
We have. I'm gonna use a momentum.
I too have clumpy footprints or footsteps, rather.
Thankfully, Calamir is here to guide you.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah, really.
Did you say stealth? I thought you said ham boning. So.
So
Be quiet for once, Ramesh.
close on Calamir's tail, you all walk footfall by footfall farther down this hall. And it goes silent for a while, and you're not even sure if you're still continuing in the right direction, until a faint light appears up above. And it gets a little brighter and brighter as you get closer to it, as it flickers. And it's apparent that it's a torchlight. And you emerge into a chamber. that looks like maybe once, a long time ago, perhaps a civilization ago, it may have been a throne room. And on the single throne in the room, you see her collapsed at the feet of a skeleton, weeping. Yerend has grasped onto it, and it looks larger than any human you've ever seen. And there's two pointed bony nubs at the top of the skull. This is what I found. This is what calls to me. We can't go back. Blood runs down her leg onto the stone floor.
What does this skeleton say to you?
It shows me love. It shows me more than the spider god ever did. This is the future. This is the future of the spider worshippers. This here.
I don't think your people agree, but you can give us the drum and stay down here with your corpses if you wish.
This?
Yeah.
The drum? It is useless to me. And she snaps it off of her belt, breaking the leather thong that held it, and throws it at you. Let them leave. One day I'll show them all.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you will.
Maybe put an arrow in her on her way out the door? I don't know.
But how much more fun would it be if he didn't?
Yeah, that's actually kind of what I'm thinking. Nothing like a little secondary enemy, you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
Criven pities her. Someone else can kill her.
Yeah.
I already popped her.
Ramesh is the only one
That arrow.
who but I'm not skilled at killing at all, so it's not going to be me.
Right.
But-
I think we pick up the drum and leave her to this strange, strange creature, or the remnants of one.
And as you
Yeah.
walk away, you just hear her.
Fuck with all that.
You hear her barely whisper, "I love you." So you bring the drum back to the spiders, who have all of her followers have definitely turned away from Yerund. They appreciate your offer of the estate, though they do eventually want to take back their temple, but that all goes well. But that's a story for between games. So I will be messaging you in Facebook about XP, and we'll do some carousing there. Your carousing can take place in any of these places. Anyone who just had stress, that heals automatically at the end of a scene, so you're good there. I don't think anyone had any wounds, right?
No, I got real close, but
Yeah.
So we're good there as well. Your carousing can take place at Dagoth Hill if you really want it, or at the estate, or back in Shadowzar. So be sure to put a post in the Facebook group about that, and I'll let you know about experience there. I would once again like to thank Roll20 for making this possible. Thank you to Sirenscape for providing the excellent soundtrack that happened tonight. For the players of the game, you'll just have to wait to hear the video later since you couldn't actually hear it. If you want to see more, go to crumblingkeep.com, where we have a collection of these videos as well as a lot of our other projects, or go to facebook.com/crumblingkeep. You can follow us on Twitter at crumblingkeep. Good news, we also have t-shirts and awesome things like that. So if you want a Crumbling Keep t-shirt, you can find those on Facebook or the website. There's also links to buy any of the books we used here tonight, as well as a link to Turn Down for What in the description of the video as well. Because, like I said, if you haven't seen that, you really need to do yourself a favor. And just a little tease, we are going to be doing a upcoming book giveaway for Conan the Thief by Modiphius. We'll give you more information about that as it gets a little closer, but know that it's coming up. Anyone have anything else?
No. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm James. I
absolutely.
have been your GM tonight. Let's try this alphabetical thing. Let's do it. We can do it. I'm James. I've been your GM tonight.
I'm Brad. I played Calumet.
I'm Emily. I was Ulrika.
I'm Frank, and I was cribbing, shooting arrows.
I'm Justin, and I was Ramesh, being all sassy.
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 See, this was good. We'll get there.